집 없고 금수저 아니면 이 5가지부터 해라.
Listen to me. If you want to build an incredible life, it's not a matter of what you do today, tomorrow, or the day after. It is a culmination of the daily habits that you do for years. So in today's video, I'm going to run through the 5 daily habits that made me a multi-millionaire by the age of 21. And if you implement all 5 of these into your life, I know that you are going to achieve incredible things. So the first daily habit was setting daily challenges to speak to new people. And here's what I mean. When I was 14 or 15 and I was either taking the public bus or the tube to school, I would actually set a challenge to myself to give a compliment every single day to just one stranger. And if anyone's ever been in London, they know what the tube is like. The tube is not a very friendly place, especially in the morning. In the morning, everyone in the tube does not look like a very happy camper. And I knew that whatever I wanted to do in life, and funnily enough, at the age of 14, 15, 16, I actually thought that I was going to become a real estate agent, learn about the real estate game, and then eventually get into property development in my late 20s. Turns out that I went for a very completely different path, creating online businesses, software companies, and things that are very unrelated to what I had in my mind and in my vision, yet all of the principles still applied. I knew that there's certain skills in life that if you learn, no matter what you do, it's going to pay dividends. And being able to go up to a random stranger and just give them a compliment. I don't care if you're a real estate agent. I don't care if you have software companies like me. I don't care if you become a YouTuber, whatever it is. These are skills that will pay dividends for the rest of your life. Being able to break the ice with someone, being able to network with someone, being able to understand someone's body language. You know, another thing that I used to do when I was younger and living in London is I would force myself every single day to go up to 3 girls and just say hello. No pressure on what it is that I said or getting their number or anything like that, but just say hi and introduce yourself. And you know what? Maybe they're busy. A rejection and failure helped me to then go on and start my first business, which was actually an advertising agency. I had that business for 6 years, and it's what made me my first few $1,000,000 that I was then able to then go on and multiply, build my wealth with, and also build my other companies with. So whatever social challenge you set for yourself tomorrow, just set something. I mean, what is the worst that could happen if you go that a lot of people's minds work? People are scared. People walk around life on eggshells, scared to interact with the people they want to interact with, scared to network with the people they want to network. And listen, we all understand that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Highest kid you have ever met in your entire life. It was only once I started practicing these skills when I was 14, 15, 16, did I come out of my shell, did I learn how to break the ice and build rapport with whoever it is. So if your daily habit that made me a multimillionaire by 21 was constantly choosing the right vehicle for where I was in life based on my skill set and also my appetite. And here's really what I mean by this. I'd say probably the reason that I am where I am today is because I didn't skip the process. I didn't go from here and want to end up here without going through all of these mini checkpoints. And let me explain what I mean even when it comes to my businesses. My first main business was a social media marketing agency at the age of 16. So for 2 years, we basically just did social media marketing services. And that was great. That got me up to around $30,000 a month. But then I decided, okay, the next step, the next iteration, the next vehicle is pivot and change to an advertising agency. And once I did that, it wasn't straight away. It wasn't instantaneous. It took time. It took effort. But relatively quickly after that, I started hitting $100,000 a month's profit with the agency. And around that time, I was starting to get a lot of different offers to start software companies. And I always said to these people, listen, I'm not ready as an entrepreneur. I don't have the abilities or the skill set in order to execute on that. And quite frankly, I don't have the appetite for that right now. That's one of my favorite things in life to say, because even in my position where I am, I get a bunch of different venture capital guys that are like, you have so much money, tens of millions of dollars. A lot important to know where are you in your journey and pick the right vehicle for that. Now, the next daily habit that made me a multi-millionaire by 21 is creating rather than consuming. For example, I've always never been the biggest fan of watching football because rather than watching it, I'd rather just go play it. I don't know, for me, rather than scrolling through TikTok or YouTube, I would rather just create content myself. So whatever it is in life, rather than consuming, you must create. And I also viewed that when it came to business. I was always very cognizant and very aware of what things was I using in my life that was bringing me value and I was paying for every month or every quarter or every half a year. And how could I eventually get to the point where rather than consuming that thing, I was actually creating it and I was profiting from it. So whatever area of your life that it may be, you always need to focus on how can you create rather than consume. Now, the next daily habit that made me a multi-millionaire by the age of 21 is I never put people on a pedestal. And this is going to be something very, very hard for you to implement, but you need to understand your biggest heroes, maybe even including me, we are just like you. Listen to me. I am you. You are me. We are no different. All you need to do is go look at my YouTube and go look back to videos in 2015, 2016, when I was just a little kid. I was going to the gym every single day. Let alone going to the gym every single day. I was going to school, and then, there would be periods where I would do protocols like squat every day. So I would squat every day, which meant I was also going to the gym every single day. I was committed to reading a book every single week, meditating every day, and all of this while I was broke, while I had nothing to my name, but I was building me, I was building my character, I was building my discipline, and discipline is far, far more important than motivation. So just understand, don't put me on a pedestal. I'm no firepower except for discipline and a belief in a future vision. And if you have those two things, then you are going to make it. As long as you stop looking at this like, maybe I can get rich by the summer, or hey, maybe, if I try this for 90 days, it might work out. Rather than looking like that, instead, you need to look in 5-year, 10-year terms. And if you can do that, if you can commit to being better day by day for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, then you're going to be so far ahead of the competition because most people are simply not patient. I should not be there. I'm human just like you. I've made mistakes. I will continue to make mistakes, but that is part of the human nature. One is thinking in second order consequences. Now, when I was younger, I played a lot of chess. As I said, I was very introverted. So I would play a lot of chess, and I was actually in school. I was part of my chess club. Now, when you're playing chess, you're always thinking of 6th or 7th order consequences. You're thinking about, if I do this, then what will happen? You're constantly thinking about the ripple effect of your next move, not in 1 move or 2 moves, but 5 moves ahead. And I carried that through for the rest of my life because I always thought in second order and execute on your vision. Everywhere you look in life, you need to understand second order consequences. I say this all the time. To make my first $1 million, I basically didn't drink for 3 years. Because sure, first order consequences is you may have a hangover the next day, but the second order consequence is then you are making decisions in your life in a hindered state. And the third and fourth order consequence of making decisions in an unhinged state can be even more catastrophic. So please just understand this concept of second order consequences and implement that every single day into your life. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you take heed of these lessons. I hope you implement these lessons. And just remember, as always, I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you.